Hi Aryan,
Hello.
welcome to my podcast FinAccTing. Thank you so much for taking time out today. I know you have already started with a new job, but thank you so much for taking time out on the weekend. So for the viewers, our guest today is Aryan. Now, who's Aryan? Aryan is one of my first knowledge level students, right? So of course now you must be thinking कि सर हमेशा अपने स्टूडेंट्स को बुलाते हैं ऑफ कोर्स बिकॉज आई वुड लव टू गिव माय स्टूडेंट्स एन अपॉर्चुनिटी to share their experiences, and Aryan is one of them who actually placed faith in us when we were just about to start. So Aryan was in my first knowledge level batch at Borivali Center, and what a journey it has been, Aryan.
It has been a great journey.
Yeah.
First of all, I am very thankful to you for inviting to this podcast. Thank you so much.
No, I am extremely pleased that we are doing this podcast together, and you are my fourth guest here. So that also makes me believe that yes, ये कर सकते हैं, right? So it's good to have you here. Now, a bit more of introduction around yourself. So you started doing your ACCA in 2018-19 somewhere, right?
Yes.
है ना, जब हमने शुरू किया था. So 2018-19. And then you qualified ACCA just in 2024, right? So you did take a slightly longer time than what we usually do, and that is also one of the reasons why I wanted to have you here, because I don't want to show through our podcast here only journeys that has been super successful, super smooth. I also want to share experiences of students who did have setbacks but still were able to make sure that they continued their journey, and that is what I would love to hear today. But Aryan is currently working. You're working at a consulting firm, right? As an advisory associate. So that is great. So we'll talk about that as well a little bit. But yeah, let's start with our session today. And the first thing that I want to ask you is that how did you come to know about ACCA?
So back in 2018, I was planning my career in commerce accountancy. So someone suggested me about CA and other degree. One of my relative did ACCA, so he settled out of India, and he guided me. If you want to do a course which is flexible and you are able to clear it at your own pace, so you go ahead with ACCA. Then I researched about it, and in the meantime, I met with you in the Thakur College.
Yes.
You came to deliver a lecture on the session on globalization something.
Yes.
So just I was searching, doing my research about ACCA, how it is, how many papers and all. So in that case, I come to know about ACCA, how many papers, how much time it takes, how many exams and all.
Great.
So this was the journey of my research. And
Lovely.
In the meantime, I met with you.
That's good. I'm so glad that I was able to do that session. And I do remember it was to do with globalization of accounting, I think, which I did at Thakur College about a few years ago.
Actually, I was going to bunk that class.
Very well. Aren't we both glad that you attended and you came to us? So no, good. So you of course had some background because your cousin obviously told you. But tell me something. How easy or difficult was it to convince your parents? Especially you started after your 11th, I think you
After 12th.
After 12th, all right. So you started just after 12th. At the time when people did not know ACCA at all, I think at least in Mumbai, not many students knew about it. So how easy or difficult was it to convince your parents to let you do a course like this?
So my parents have always supported me to do the course which makes you interested a lot in the field you are going to make your career. So I was just going through the syllabus. It was everything: accountancy, audit, AFM, and all finance. So I thought I should go ahead with it. And once I started with the knowledge level, I thought, okay, it is a good course which I am doing, and it will help me to make my career. So my dad told, okay, you are okay with this course, go ahead. We don't have any problems and issue, because he have always supported me that whichever course you are like, it interests you, you go ahead with it. Don't think any other thing. It's not like you are forced to do, so you are forced to do MBA or something. No, not that.
Okay, lovely. So I think a very big part that your dad played in this, because I remember talking to your dad when he had come with you for the counseling, and I still remember he had questions around whether you will be taught around finance, because he himself is into stock market and he uses a lot of technology. So I still recollect that very interesting conversation with him. So yes, I do accept and agree that parents have to be really convinced Otherwise, it's hard to really embark on a journey like ACCA. But tell me something, because you were studying in college
Yeah.
and doing ACCA along with it.
Yeah.
How did you manage both? Because I know so many students who struggle to do that.
So basically, the syllabus in college and ACCA is little bit much of the different side. But what I had done, I had made a plan. Like in the morning, I attended my lectures. In the afternoon, I give 2 to 3 hours for ACCA, and evening I used to do a workout, because if I don't do it, I become lazy.
Nice.
So, and in the evening, nearly 8 p.m., I had the time to do studies. So 8 to 10, 8 to 10:30, I had done the other practice and all about the questions or theory, and revising all the stuff which you had taught in the weekends. Like on Saturday, Sunday, you had the lectures, and on the weekdays, I do it.
Very good. Very. Also, I did not know that you were working out as well. Well, your physique is very lean, but I'm so glad, and you can understand that why I get excited if anyone's working out. I love gym, and I think if there's any hobby that someone should really have, is actually to go and work out in a gym or any kind of
Like
sport.
you can do yoga or play
Exactly.
any sports or do jogging.
Any
It is
sport.
necessary. Like if you study, but it's not necessary that you will be able to recollect all the things. You should do some of the meditation workout. It helps a lot. I've seen this.
Wow, that's a very good tip, Aryan.
Until 12th, I didn't do any of the thing.
That's a very, very good tip. Yes, I do agree that meditation helps, or at least doing some sport helps, is because you need to refresh as well. You can't be just sitting and studying for 20 hours, 24 hours. You have to break your day. Make sure that you go out, meet friend, or like you said, play some sport, or go to the gym. No, that's very good. So coming to your ACCA journey, so tell me something. As a student, in terms of papers, which were the toughest papers that you taught, and why do you think that those were the toughest papers?
So basically, there are two papers: APM and audit. There are two. So
Okay.
I'll start with APM. APM is something, it's hard to earn the marks. You know the concept, you have the clarity, but until you and unless you practice a lot, go in the deep, you won't be able to earn the proper marks, because you need to understand what the examiner is asking, the sentence, like if they are talking about the pricing and all. So you need to be stuck to that only. If you write anything extra, you are going to get less marks in something.
Exactly.
And even you will able to lose the time, so you won't be able to complete the paper full. So APM is something that I don't like. Audit is something it doesn't interest me at all. So this were the two.
Okay.
Rest I was able to do it.
Of course, because I know that most part of your ACCA journey was fairly straightforward, and you did not have too many challenges. But especially when you came to the professional level, that's where it started to get a little tricky, right? And for the viewers, I really want that if you've skipped everything so far, just make sure that you listen to this part, because I think most of the students, who go through a rough patch when they are studying and they get a setback or two, they give up. But you did not, right? And that is exactly what I want to now discuss. So tell me, which was the paper that troubled you the most?
It was APM.
It was APM, right?
Yeah.
And I hope you are okay if I tell all the viewers here
Sure.
that you did not clear it on the first go, but you took almost 4 attempts. On the fourth attempt, you were able to clear the exam, and that is something which is, of course, not the most ideal thing, but trust me, it is the most commendable thing, because if you ask me as a faculty, the most happiness that I get is when my students who did not clear the last time clear the next time, is when I am the most happiest. So you obviously know that we get ranks and everything, but trust me, it is the it always bothers me that whenever someone who did not clear, especially someone like you who's always been very hardworking, you've always been very serious with studies, and you did not clear it, obviously affects as a faculty. Because we work as friends, we don't work as a.
Even though it was the last paper of
It was the last paper, I think, and that is again something that students need to understand, right? That until it is not done, it's not done, right? You cannot take it granted that yes, I'm done with 12 papers. अभी तो ये एक ही रह गया तो निकल जाएगा, हाथी निकल गया पूंछ निकल जाएगी, right? So please tell me what was going on. सबसे पहले तो you have to tell me. I know you've told me as a student, but for the viewers, that what happened, why APM became such a big problem? Because if I recollect, तुम्हारा PM you were able to crack in the first go,
Yes.
right? So what happened in APM?
So post skills level, I was just searching about startups and all because my interest got deviated. Like if you have heard about Jagriti Yatra,
Yes.
it's an entrepreneurship journey.
Yes.
So I went there, I learned about startups, going to the ground level, grassroots level, and understanding how the startups are built. So I was doing a lot of amount of research there on that side. So nearly my 3-4 hours daily I spend on those things and all. So the time devoted to my ACCA lectures and studies got less. So like if I used to give 6 hours, 5 hours, so nearly I give 1.5 hours, 2 hours on those last side. So that was something. Then I had changed the approach. Like it's the last, so I need to change the process. I need to change the my study plan and all. So finally I did it. So there's this something which I got debated, but it's not necessary. However, if you are searching for something new, you do it, but don't get totally deviated from the current work you are doing it. It's necessary to complete one task at a time. Take the knowledge from other side also. Like you are into finance, you take IT or other things, but it is necessary to complete the one task at a time. You like it is saying jack of all, masters in none. So it's the same thing like that. So just focus on the one thing, and I just changed my approach, gave a lot of time, and then I cleared.
Okay, good. So I think what key takeaway that I want to get from this one is that while you will be interested in trying multiple things, do not get so deviated that you're not focusing on what you're supposed to do, right? And that probably is something that I've mentioned in the class so many times, that yes, you want to start your jobs, and I've made so many videos around it, that everyone is so keen in starting to work, right? But as soon as you start to work or you do anything, like you started to research, and I still remember you asked me if you can go on that yatra or not, and I was still in two minds whether I should say yes to it or not. But yeah, that's how you learn, right? It's not that every time you do something it has to be right the first time around, because how will you get your lessons otherwise? If you do everything first time around, there's no lessons learned in life, right? So the most success that comes is when you've had the opportunity to get these lessons. So I'm glad now you know this, that because if you're not focusing on that one thing, or at least putting all your efforts on that one thing, you will start to see so many challenges coming up. And that's exactly what happened. Not once, not twice, but thrice. Of course, in one time I would also say that you did not put in all the efforts that we hope. Because
in the initial I didn't do so.
Because I remember Dhaval sir was teaching you APM, and he did say that Aryan ने अभी तक 2 mock भी नहीं भेजे हैं. And I'm like, अरे Aryan कैसे कर सकता है? Right? So for the students, for the viewers, please make sure that you do not take ACCA lightly until it is fully done. In fact, if you don't want to start your job, don't start.
It's not necessary.
It is not necessary
to work at the same time. It's not necessary.
Exactly, it is not necessary, right? And you can all get there. And you are a very good example now. You got an internship, which I want to come to now, right? Because you did not start working, right? And you started to work after your ACCA, which I think is the most ideal thing. But of course, I understand that people have different requirements. So nevertheless, so what was your first job like? And where did you get that from?
So from the FP itself, the placement cell.
Okay.
And, I'm very thankful to Aryan ma'am.
Great.
And FP team. So it was heavily chartered accountants. It was my first job. It's a UK-based company. I did bookkeeping, accountancy, and all.
Super.
So it was a great
experience.
Yeah, it was a good experience.
So it was a 3-month internship that you got.
Yeah.
Okay, great. So I'm hoping that internship helped you, because now the job that you have, obviously, you are better prepared for this new job, right? So now for the viewers, what is this new job and what do you do exactly there?
So currently I'm into advisory side, business advisory. So it's an consulting into risk and finance, wherein we do hedge accounting, do the hedge effectiveness testing and documentations of all, and other international swaps and all. So it's a basically consulting.
Okay.
So I'm focused on that area.
Fine. So tell me something. Now there are two things that I want to ask you. One is, how did you prepare for your interviews? How did you go about preparing for the interview first of all?
So what I used to do is, like, if I receive the JD, I used to see what's the main motive of the firm to hire me. So do I possess that amount of skills or not? Like it was a bookkeeping, and I'm an ACCA affiliate, so I know how to do bookkeeping, doing the journal entries and passing debit, credit, and all. So it was a little bit good for my, because I have completed all those aspects. So anyone going for a job, you should consider, is the skills matching with the JD provided by the employer or the company?
Of course.
If it's not, then just try to get it in your skills. Like, you can learn a good amount of skills on Udemy, online, YouTube,
Exactly.
everywhere it's available. So basically, do a job which do an interest of you. Not
Exactly.
necessary that okay, you are getting a job and मेरे को करना है ये job. It's not necessary at all. It should do interest, and it should relate it to your skills. Like, it will help you to build your career. Like ACCA has
Very
been
good.
doing. If you are doing into accounting, okay, ACCA is helping you to build up career. So it's good.
Very good. So I think very important is that you check the JD, because so many students don't even check that, right? Don't even, oh, job hai, chalo apply kar dete hain. But you need to know what the job is and accordingly prepare the resume, because I've told this multiple times that if there is a role for accounting and you are going to focus on that, I am very good in finance, the company is not going to hire you because you don't have accounting skills, right? So focus on that. Yes, you've done bookkeeping or you've done audits, if that, because audit also helps you understand accounting pretty well, right? So it is important to understand the JD, and basis the JD, prepare for your interview. Be it basic accounting, you should know.
Any fields.
Exactly, right? You need to understand how the entries are made. You need to know how basic concepts of, things that we learn at an FA level maybe,
Correct.
right? Those are the kind of questions that you ask, right? Okay, so good. So you, that is how you prepare for the JD. But now the second job that you got, of course, we at FPA did not get you that. You were able to get it yourself.
Yeah.
How did you apply for that job?
So I was searching something which interests me a lot. So it is towards the finance side. You are doing hedge accounting, consulting the clients and all. So one of my cousin relative working there. So he just told, if you are interested, you can do. I saw the JD, it interested me, and even my skills were working because I am ACCA and the accountancy is necessary for that job. So it helped me to get in. And anyways, referrals do matter.
Referrals do matter, and I'm so happy you mentioned that. And people should also know that Aryan also got a job from here at FPA, and he had 2 offers, and he had to choose one. And I'm glad you chose whatever was your interest. But yeah, you got a offer at one of the top banks as well. That's what the placement deals tells me, that you were shortlisted for that role.
Yeah.
Which is, and I think that's what students need to understand, right? That if you are qualified, the job will come.
Exactly.
It sometimes takes maybe a week's time, sometimes it takes 3 months as well, 6 months as well, right? Because it's not that, if you have a degree, then everyone is out there on the road, ki bhai, aa jao, hamare paas aa jao. And first job is always going to be the toughest.
It does take time.
Right? It takes time. But you have proven it already that you took time, you got one job, you did the internship, now you got 2 offers, and I'm sure that as you progress 2 years, 3 years, you'll start to see your salaries going up. You'll start to see, of course, I don't want you to tell your salary. I don't want everyone to start reaching out, ki Aryan treat this. But I know you've got a decent package, right? And you should all know, people are watching this, that if you are qualified and if you have the right skill set, the right attitude, you will get a good salary as well, right? So good. So I think as far as the job is concerned, I'm sure that people who are watching this will find these 2 things very, very insightful. So coming now, because we are now at the last stage of our discussion, where I want to talk about your experience with FPA. How was your experience with FPA?
So I have been with the scratch. Like,
I know.
FP was just born, and not even born, you were
Exactly.
just going on. So you have been able to clear my concepts. You were able to do basic research. Like, I remember about Enron and WorldCom. You were discussing. So from that onwards, I did a research, like why did Enron happen. So I tried to link with audit, accountancy procedures, FA and all. So these were the 2 things which I liked about it. So FP had always focused to clear the doubts and concept of the students, like focusing not only on the study text. Like other physical examples like what did Enron, why did they fail, why was World War happened, and all other examples for this. So it's necessary to get the conceptual clarity. So that was a great experience for me. And secondly, you both were available anytime. I used to message you and Dhaval sir for the mocks until skills level and all.
Yeah.
So you were available and were able to solve my doubts in a one go. So the thing is, I was able to understand your approach, how you study, how you treat your students, and are the students able to reply you back, revert. Like if I have some doubt, I should revert you. There are some students, they don't do it. So it's necessary how the tutor is. Like I don't like the teacher अच्छे नहीं है, मैं so there are some other things which happen in the students' life. So that's the thing. But yeah, it's necessary to reach out to sir and get it clear. So you were helpful, and even Dhaval sir. And I am very thankful to FPT for this.
Chalo, good. I'm glad. And this is now the fourth time that it has come out that students are happy with the doubt solving support that we give, especially the late night doubt solving support. And I'm very pleased that that is something that students really like at FPA. Is there anything that you feel that a student should look out for when they are deciding कि भाई मुझे ACCA कहाँ से करना चाहिए? What is it that you think should students look out for?
So they should consider how much knowledge they possess. Like अभी उन्होंने चालू किया 9 papers exemptions and so are they able to possess that amount of knowledge? Because until and unless you are able to build the base, you won't be able to reach the last stage. If you are able to, okay, I'll revise it, मैं books पढ़ लूँगा, I'll do it. So you should go and start with professional level. So it depends the base of knowledge. I'll just give example. जब तक हम building खड़ी कर रहे हैं, नीचे पानी नहीं भरेंगे, base setup नहीं करेंगे, building ही खड़ी नहीं होगी.
Exactly.
That's the thing in ACC itself or any education. So you should clear the base. अगर आप okay, yeah, I'm able to do it. I'll just revise skills level knowledge and I'll go with professional. So okay, you should start with professional. Or else take some time, be patient, start with knowledge and then go to skills in professional. But everyone will conquer it.
Very
it's
good.
a matter of time.
Very good, very good. This is such a good message, and you guys know this very well that I am not a big fan of exemptions, and I have constantly told people that don't take the exemptions, or if you are taking the exemptions, make sure that you have covered your base, right? You have to have a strong foundation, otherwise the skill level papers or the professional level papers are going to be completely over your head.
Because
right?
they are different from what we study.
Exactly.
Because in the university, some approaches are different as compared to ACCA.
Exactly.
So it's necessary to set up the base and get conceptual clarity.
Very good.
So it is difficult if you face such issue.
Very good, very good, very good. No, lovely. This is very good. So look, now this is my one final question that I ask everyone.
Yeah.
Is what is that one final message that you want to give students? And remember, when I started this podcast, I said that this podcast is to inspire.
Correct.
I don't look at inviting the top notch of the industry. Of course, I do look forward to maybe inviting a few so that you get different perspective. But the idea of this podcast, FinAccTing, is to bring students like yourselves, who have not already achieved everything in life, but you have still completed your ACCA irrespective of what was going on, whether you're working, studying, had setbacks, everything, but you did it, right? So I want you guys to share your stories and inspire. So what is it that you want to say to the ACCA students or students who want to pursue chartered accountancy or any finance and accounting course?
So I'll share my experience. It's a family thing. So if you know, my grandfather is paralytic patient, so he's bedridden. So my father, he set up his office at home.
Exactly.
So my parents and me used to do his works and everything. So I was at home. Used to study, used to help him out, even my dad. So the thing is, you should have patience. Come out anything, like you are facing some issues, anything. You should be patient, do the work, dedicate a time to study. Like you have 24 hours, do it a breakup. Like you can do it 6 hours, 4 hours a day. It should be not quantity, it should be quality. If you are able to do it 4 hours, study 4 hours, but the output should go into your mind, it should be able to implement in the exam. That's the thing.
Awesome.
So be patient enough, do take some time and go ahead. And secondly, it's necessary if you're doing any courses, any education, be it ACCA, CA, any course, it's necessary to do practice. what I used to do is, like, I remember about FM.
Hmm.
I was calculating beta and all.
Hmm.
So I used to link it with the example. I'll just share it. So I was thinking beta इसमें इतना है, ये sector का beta इतना है. If Indigo start to go into FMCG, so FMCG में इतना beta है, तो उसका Indigo का WAC कैसे affect होगा?
Exactly.
So try to link in the industry. Everything is available, data is available.
Absolutely.
Just the thing is, we need to implement. Do analysis, implementation. It will work in the exam. That's a simple thing.
Awesome.
So the patience and implementation with analysis and with examples will help. Beat anything, because these are finally you are going to do a job and going to implement all the things you have studied in the course. That's the thing.
Wow.
I would like to give this message.
Very good, very good. Thank you so much. I think this is a very, very good message, that be patient, because without the patience it's not going to work, right? And secondly, focus on the conceptual clarity, implement whatever you learn, try and figure out what's happening around you, try to relate it, because that's the only way you can understand these concepts so much better, especially exams like ACCA. You
Correct.
need that conceptual clarity, right? So no, look, I am so happy, Aryan, that you came here today and you've shared all this amazing experience. I'm so sure that students and everyone who's watching this will get tons of inspiration from you, and they understand that ACCA journey is not a straight line. It will have its ups and downs, right? But it is someone who will stick around and make sure that they get it done, and it will obviously happen, right? So thank you once again, and all the very best. I'll
Thank
see
you
you
so
around.
much for inviting me. Thank you.
Pleasure.
I
See you.
hope students will be able to learn from this and get inspired with this.
I'm sure they will. Thank you, buddy. See you around.